Hello, I'm Ollie and this is Criminolly, where I talk about crime, pulp, horror, that kind of thing. Today, crime, it's another instalment in my library tour. So I've grabbed another box from the attic. This is an unread box of crime books, or rather a box of unread crime books. There's not too many in this box, so I think this will be a shorter video than some of the library tour videos have been. But yes, let's crack on and see what we got in here. So first up, we have The Girl Next Door, but not That Girl Next Door. This is The Girl Next Door by Ruth Rendell rather than the one by Jack Ketchum. So I have read the Ketchum one. I've not read this one, and I've not read a huge amount of Rendell. I've read a few, probably 3 or 4 of her books. I wonder if there's a list in here of her things. I know I've read the first of the Inspector Wexford books, From Doomed with Death. I can't remember what else I've read by her. I've definitely read a few others by her, I think. This is a mystery about some children who go missing in some dark tunnels, and then 70 years later people start investigating. So that sounds like it should be a good one, and Ruth Rendell obviously is a very famous and rightly so writer. Next up, another Rendell, but one that was written under the pen name Barbara Vine. So she wrote kind of psychological thrillers as Barbara Vine as well. This is one of those, The House of Stairs. Again, unread, or unread by me anyway, someone's definitely read it. And there's not even a blurb on the back to tell you what it's about. There's just some reviews, so interesting cover. Anyway, so yes, at some point I will get to that one and see what it's like. Next up, 2 from Richard Stark. So this is one of those kind of double bill omnibuses. So 2 of his Parker novels, Comeback and Flashfire. So I've got some other Parker novels, I think. Oh no, I'm thinking of Richard Parker, the author. I think these are the only Parker novels I've got, although I think I've read the very first one, which I forget the name of. Obviously they do have a good reputation, so again, one for me to get to at some point. Oh, I've got another Barbara Vine. So another Ruth Rendell as Barbara Vine. This one, A Fatal Inversion. In the long hot summer of 1976, a group of young people are camping in Withers Hall. Adam, Rufus, Shiva, Vivian and Zosie hardly ask why they are there, what they are doing, or how they are to live. They scavenge, steal and sell the family heirlooms. In short, they exist. 10 years later, the bodies of a woman and a child are discovered in the Hall's animal cemetery. Which woman, whose child? That does sound quite good actually, doesn't it? I think this one, the name of this one rings a bell, and I wonder if it was filmed for British TV in kind of the 80s or 90s. I think it may have been. So yeah, another one that looks rather good, and I do like that cover as well. The sort of trees with skulls on them. Right, next up, let's pull a few out. So, The Forest of Souls by Carla Banks. So I talked in another one of these library tour videos about a book called The Reckoning, which I got at a kind of workshop for budding crime writers. This is another one I got at the same time, so by one of the other authors who was there, which I have not read. I think it's set in Eastern Europe. So I've had this a very long time, because that workshop was before my son was born, and he was born in 2008. So yes, I do not know very much about this and have not read it, but I ought to, because I've had it for how long? Well, probably 15 years. Next up, some true crime. So Perfect Victim by Christine McGuire and Carla Norton. So again, I don't know anything about the crime that this book is about. I think it was recommended to me by someone on Twitter or Goodreads when I was asking for true crime recommendations a while ago, but I haven't got around to reading it yet. So I will read a bit of the back. Colleen Stan was a sweet-natured, lively 20-year-old when she set off to hitchhike from a home in Washington to Southern California. 7 years later, she emerged from hell, the victim of a bizarre and chilling crime. Cameron and Janice Hooker had literally made her their slave and forced her to endure all of Cameron's twisted sexual perversions. So that sounds fairly horrible. yes, so haven't read that one yet, but again, at some point I will get to it. Next up, Dorothy L. Sayers, so very famous. This is one of her Lord Peter Wimsey mysteries, Strong Poison. I've not read any Dorothy L. Sayers, I don't think, so this was originally published in 1930, so quite an old one. But yeah, they do have a good reputation, the Lord Peter Wimsey mysteries. Let's grab a few more. So, The Last Coyote by Michael Connelly, one of his, oh God, I forgot the name of the course. The guy, Bosch, Harry Bosch, one of the Harry Bosch books. I've read one or two of these, and I've got a few of them, I think, in other boxes potentially and on my Kindle. The ones I've read I did enjoy, but I've never gone back to them and read more. It's one of those series I think I'd like to read from the start to do it properly. So yeah, very, very well known, and obviously there's the Amazon TV show, which is quite well thought of as well at the moment. But again, I haven't read that, haven't watched that yet because I haven't read the books. Something a bit cozier, so 44 Scotland Street by Alexander McCall Smith, which again I have not read, but these are, I think, kind of fairly light mysteries set in Edinburgh. Alexander McCall Smith's Scotland Street occupies a busy bohemian corner of Edinburgh's new town, where the old haute bourgeoisie find themselves having to rub shoulders with students, poets and portraitists, and number 44 has more than its fair share of the street's eccentrics and failures. So yes, I know nothing about this really, but they're supposed to be, I think, quite nice crime books. Next up, a modern Sherlock Holmes anthology, so by James Lovegrove. So I read one of his other Holmes books, which I think was called Sherlock Holmes and the Christmas Demon, which is good. I really enjoyed it. So this is a short story collection. So yeah, next time I'm in the mood for some mystery short stories, this will be a good one to pick up. But yeah, Lovegrove has written all sorts of kind of Holmes books, and as I say, I've read one which was good, and he does have a good reputation for them as well. Another one, right, While My Eyes Were Closed by Linda Green. I think I got this in the first Abominable Book Club box as the mystery book. So it's a kind of British crime novel about a young girl, a 4-year-old girl, who goes missing while her mother's eyes were closed. So to be honest with you, it's the sort of crime novel that's very popular at the moment, which I tend to not particularly enjoy. So I don't know if I'll ever get to that one or not. That may be one for the charity shop pile. Okay, next up, 3 Seconds by Roslund and Hellstrom, which is a Scandinavian thriller, which sounds really good. I got this one in a charity shop, and the back of it just sounded great. So Piet Hoffman is the Swedish police force's best undercover operative. Not even his family know of his double identity, yet when a drug deal with the Polish mafia goes horribly wrong, his secret life begins to crumble around him. Detective Inspector Erwit Grenz is charged with investigating the drug-related killing. Unaware of Hoffman's true identity, he believes himself to be on the trail of a dangerous psychopath. Hoffman must maintain his cover, or else he is a dead man walking. But in Erwit Grenz, he has just made the most relentless of enemies. So this sounds like it's a great premise for a, maybe not 100% original, but a very good premise for a crime novel. And I think Cops Undercover is always a great source of tension in books. So yeah, this looks like a good one, although it is a bit of a jonker. It's over 600 pages, which is probably why I haven't picked it up yet. Next up, another author I've never read and should have, James Lee Burke. So this is, I think, the first of the Dave Robichaud books. Yes, it is. So The Neon Rain. So again, he's someone with a really great reputation, and it's criminal, no pun intended, that I haven't read any of his books. So I do need to get to this one at some point. It's not very long either. It's only 300 pages. So I may transfer this one to the shelves downstairs and pick it up at some point. One more, and then there's a big box of, like a box set of books, which I will get out next. So this one is Girl Waits with Gun by Amy Stewart, which someone recommended this to me, and I forget who, a while ago, but it sounds great fun. It's like a 20s set mystery novel. So that here we go. So from the New York Times bestselling author of The Drunken Botanist comes an enthralling novel based on the forgotten true story of one of the US's first female deputy sheriffs. So that sounds fun, doesn't it? It just sounds entertaining. And I think that cover is lovely as well. I think there's a few more in the series. I think she's done more than one. So yeah, that looks like an entertaining read when I get to it. And then finally, I have this box set of the Inspector Morse books. It says it's the complete collection. I can't remember if it's still the complete collection or if he did only more after this was published. But I have actually read some of these. I've read the first 3 Morse novels, I think. I've definitely read The Wench is Dead, and Last Bus to Woodstock, and Last Seen Wearing, actually, I think. So yeah, I've read a few of these, but I think Morse is a great character. I never got into the TV show. I never watched the TV show, but he's a classic grumpy detective, and I do think he's very entertaining to read, and I do enjoy he comes across in the books. He's very fully rounded as a character, and I do enjoy his kind of slightly haphazard and unfortunate love life, constantly kind of almost getting with women and then not quite managing to. So yeah, I definitely need to read some more Morse soon. So yes, a slightly shorter library tour than normal this time around. But yeah, if you've read any of these already and you think I should make a beeline for them, then do let me know. As I said, apart from a couple of the Morse ones, I've not read any of these, so interested to know what you think I should pick from this box to read soon. As always, hope you're safe and well, and I will speak to you again very soon. Cheerio.